Peace, family. This is your boy Gerald. It is Wednesday, the 6th of August 2019. How are you doing? Or shall I say, how's everybody doing? Bright and early in the morning. It's not even 8:30 on the East Coast here in Virginia Beach. Sunny. It's going to be hot today, and they're looking about having some serious storms sometime this evening. But nonetheless, I wanted to put this out. Man, my hair is kind of crazy, but bear with me. Because I felt something on my spirit and I wanted to share it. And the reason for it is because I needed to put a video out about something we all go through. And that is dealing with disappointment. Yes, disappointment. When things don't go your way, or you feel that you have done all that you could do to stand out without compromising your ethics, your integrity, but you don't get the brass ring. How many of y'all have seen that commercial that's out there where it shows it's in a boardroom and you see the focus is on the female executive, and they're having a board meeting, and then all of a sudden the top person makes an announcement on who is going to be selected, and then you see the camera focus on the female member waiting for her name to get called, only to realize that it's not her time. How many times have y'all felt that, where you know that you have put the work in, dotted your I's, crossed your T's, without compromising yourself, but still it ain't good enough? Well, you know what, family? This message is for you. Because for you guys who have been riding with me from the beginning, thank you. As well as those who have blessed me by finding my channel, as I know the divine does, connecting the heart and mind, reaching the intended heart and mind in the intended time. There's no words that I can express of gratitude. But let's get back to the point. So you see, in that scenario, she realizes that all her work, her efforts, her merits, at the end of the day, did not reach the brass ring, and ultimately, she didn't get the position. Now, granted, in that moment, you are going to feel your emotions come. But you know, I realized one thing about the beautiful thing about dealing with disappointment. Because even in disappointment, family, it's validation. And you're saying, well, how is there validation in disappointment, Gerald? Because I've put in my time. I've paid my dues. I've earned my respect. I've not compromised my integrity. And I genuinely put my heart and soul in whatever it is that you do. Let me tell you something. You might not realize this right now, but all energy, all actions that has come from your spirit, your heart, the true you, is noted. And guess what? You're going to get blessed for it too. And you're saying, well, how is that possible? But I wanted this position right here. I felt that it was tailored for me. Or we can spin it. You may be in that place in your life where you're saying, hey, I'm ready to move on. You've outgrown your environment, and you may see an opportunity of employment that you know has your name on it. It jumps out at you when you read the job description. You know that you, if given the opportunity, you can really excel at it. It's noted. It really is. Now, right now, you might not realize that there are going to be a couple things that you're going to be afforded. And I'll explain. Number one, you may be in a position where you have done all that you can do. And because the fact that you didn't get the outcome that you so desired, that might be the linchpin to motivate you to move on. Now, I know that might be very scary because that may require you to step out of your comfort zone. But even if you decide to do so, and you do move out that said comfort zone, guess what's going to happen? It gives you an opportunity to learn something different. It'll give you more opportunity to learn more of yourself and actually grasp not only what you are called to do, but it'll also show you how strong you really are. Now, I'm going to flip this though, because I got a caveat to that. Because we are human beings, but we're spiritual beings first. You also got to be mindful of the energy that you put out, because the energy you put out is the energy that will return. So, with that being said, in times of disappointment, that is when you are supposed to hold on to your grace. So, what? Hold on to my grace? Yes. I'm going to explain. See, nobody truly likes to deal with disappointment. Nobody does. But if you allow that action to distract you, you may accidentally overlook the fact that there's still an opportunity that you have yet to pursue. And I said, how's that, Gerald? Okay, number one. When the chips fall and all that has been hidden has been revealed, that gives you an opportunity to look at and gauge at why. Why was said persons or person chosen, and what was it that they brought to the table that you didn't? Now, that can be looked at in a positive light, and if it is not positive, it'll also scream like a neon sign exactly what's going on. Now, it's easy to turn around and say, well, hey, it's unfair and such didn't deserve the opportunity. But the one thing that I've also come to learn is this, family. This is one thing we call life. We are on different levels, and each level has a responsibility to it. And what I mean by that is, sometimes when an opportunity comes and you think it's yours, maybe that opportunity is really a blessing when you're not the one that's going to get it. Think about it. You know, just like as we've heard the old cliche, all money's not good money. See, what will actually happen after the selection is done? Now you go into a position or an opportunity to learn. And after that period of learning, you must show what you learned. And guess what? Anything that is not authentic will be revealed. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, well, Gerald, at the end of the day, I didn't get my opportunity. But you're missing my point. Because think of it this way. Because at the end of the day, yes, you have said people in your workplace sitting in that office, and it is their responsibility to stay connected as well as listen to the environment verbally as well as in action. And if there's a disconnect on what's going on, it will cause unnecessary pressure, and guess what? The failures will come out. And guess what will happen? Because you have to afford the person the opportunity to step up, an opportunity to show their worth. But if it was done not authentically, guess what's going to happen? It'll be identified. A course of action will be taken. And maybe that course of action is really to motivate you to say, hey, look here. Maybe it's time to stretch out those beautiful wings that you got and test them out. Because one thing that I've come to learn about life, family, it's the same thing with relationships. If you're bringing all that is required for that said relationship to be fruitful, to be healthy, to be nurtured, and the environment is not balanced, it cannot grow. It will become stagnant, and it will identify what the weak points are. So really, when you think about it, disappointment really sets up opportunity to motivate, but be more authentic in who you are. See, look, we live in a world, family, where there are countless people putting effort to be who they ain't. And they're surprised at the outcome that they receive because you're not who you are. Which goes back to what I've always echoed, family. At the end of the day, your strongest relationships you're going to have, the number one should be with the Most High. The second is the person in the mirror looking back at you. Okay? So with that being said, brush your shoulders off. Get outside your critical thinking and stop beating yourself up. Because at the end of the day, fam, think of it this way. We can't make anyone do what they don't want to do or what they're not capable of doing. Now, I know some of you have seen the environment where you have certain people that they come to work and they give 110%. They do it because they have a passion for what they do, but they don't do it because they're looking for a pat in the back. And those people that are looking for a pat in the back or said boostering of a status, they've got low self-esteem issues within themselves. You see it all the time. You see it all the time. They're the same ones that got to run out there and buy the it thing just to get that attention. But guess what? If it ain't tried and true, it ain't gonna last. Now, let me go to that second one. Because, like I said, it gives you opportunity to take accountability of your environment and actually answer the question, have you outgrown your environment? And if that is truly the case, guess what now? Now this requires you to assess, to find that strength that you possess to get comfortable in your discomfort. Now, a lot of times people will look at that aspect and they'll do this. They'll see the outcome, they don't like the outcome, and they're disgruntled. You know that as a hater, right? As a hater. But you can't sit up here and criticize if you're not even on the benchmark or the level to begin with. Now, if you're handling your business and then there's an obvious reason that you're being overlooked, then you're going to look at it like this. Number one, what is your when people bring your name up, how do they gauge you? Because guess what? You're going to be gauged and indirectly graded by environment from the people that won't have direct access to you. And then that said conversation is based off the interpretation of who's communicating it and the agenda. Can't worry about that, family. You got to keep on moving. You can't allow the outcome that may not have been in your favor to be your setback. Don't do that. Because if you do that, guess what? You have indirectly justified why you didn't get selected. So what you got to do is keep your feelings to yourself. Don't step out of pocket. Be aware of your surroundings. Continue to do what you're doing. But on the flip side, this is what you do. Maybe now's the time you got to look at your resume. Look at your resume. When's the last time you updated it? Have you had any training that was required? Have you done anything outside of the job that you can add to? Because now, when it comes to employment, it is about the total person concept. You gotta, and it is bottom line time management. If you got somebody spending more time trying to figure out how to get out of work, guess what? Their work ethic is going to be their hindrance anyway. So don't trip on that. Don't trip. So I'm throwing this out there for two reasons. Because some of you have been watching my videos for the last month or so, a little bit over a month. You guys know I've been busy. I done had two different interviews in my command. And apparently, I wasn't the guy. It wasn't because of job knowledge. It definitely wasn't because of work ethic. It was just ultimately for what they wanted, I wasn't that guy. And I think that a lot of it is the fact that the one thing I don't do is I let my work ethic speak for me, as well as, there'll be a time when you do an interview, they'll tell you, well, what makes you stand out compared to the other? Well, when you're working in community, that'll be the hardest answer that you're going to be able to answer. Because a true person that enjoys their job always puts their job before them, but discerns through it. Now, I'm saying that because the end goal should be one or two things. End goal should be you're going to retire from there, or you're going to use it as a stepping stone. And maybe if you're constantly getting the same outcomes of being overlooked, you're going to have to look at it like this. Maybe, just maybe, they don't see your value. Maybe they don't see your worth. And right now, what they see before them are those who are pretty much on display. But guess what? Even with things that are on display, people that are on display, you still got to show your work ethic. So everything is about perception. But eventually, all perceptions must be validated. So don't trip. And then, let me not overlook this part. Just think. Because see, at the end of the day, it is about that. It's about that paper. Maybe, just maybe, because the fact that opportunities are not being afforded to you, even though you are doing things to the letter, maybe this is validation that, hey, your opportunity is not going to be where you're at. And you have to be able to allow yourself to accept that and see what's out there. See what's on the other side of the hill. Maybe your opportunity is not going to come in your organization. Maybe your opportunity may come not even where you're at. And it may require you to travel, to go to somewhere new. You got to think about it. Now, 50% of the people that are going to go through this situation, they ain't going to do nothing about it. And you're going to have 50% of those people that are going to look at where they are. They're not going to allow that to stifle them. They're going to make the tweaks that's needed. And guess what? They're going to test their water. They're going to go and see what's outside of where they're at, their comfort zone. And guess what? What's the worst thing that can happen out of that? A better opportunity, a better environment. But keep in mind, all money is not good money, family. And with that being said, for those who do know me, and those who've been riding with me since day one, you guys know I got a traveling spirit. Oh yeah. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe God has something in store for me that says, hey, look here. Your opportunity is going to cause you to step on a plane and step into a foreign land. Because that's where your next assignment is going to be. Who knows? Who knows? But what I'm trying to get you to see is this. Don't let this be a setback. Don't. Because see, at the end of the day, you have those people that are above you. Guess what? If they were wrong, they got to live with the fact that they were wrong. And guess what's going to happen? Every day, indirectly, and maybe directly, they're going to see you. And they're going to feel a certain kind of way because they're going to realize, you know what? I selected the wrong person. She should have got that opportunity. He should have got that opportunity. But at that time, I chose this person or that person. And they have to live with the fact that they made that choice. And guess what? If they were wrong, it will be noted. It will be felt. And guess what? Your boss got a boss too. So all things that are done can be undone too. That's why it's called a probationary period too. So don't trip. Stay proactive. Let it motivate you to get you where you need to be so you can get your money the way you want it to be. Don't trip. Don't trip. Don't trip. And lastly, when disappointment comes, take accountability for it. And I'm not saying that to slam. I'm saying look at it from a perspective of what was it that you may have lacked that was used as a measurement. Maybe there was something that they brought to the table because they had access to it and you wasn't afforded to it. And guess what? When the opportunity comes, maybe you can get it, and maybe it's somewhere else. We'll say, hey, we'll love to have you, and guess what? We're gonna train you up. That's why it's called on-the-job training, and you're gonna thrive. Because I'm gonna tell you what, the things that you need, the doors will be opened, and the things that you don't, they'll stay closed. Don't mean they locked. They're gonna be closed, but that's okay. When a door's closed, there's always a window. Just make sure that this and this got those. Keep on moving. Stay motivated. Don't be disgruntled. Because like I said, with the other 50% of people that, when they get that news, like you didn't get the promotion, you know what they're going to do? They're going to let that rob their spirit. They're going to become bitter. And you're going to see that in their output. You'll see it. Ain't no different than a little child not getting the toy they wanted. And they're going to pout. But guess what? Nobody's going to mess up the money that they got, right? They're not going to mess that up. They're not. Because we all got responsibilities. So what I'm saying to somebody, today, Wednesday, you're halfway through your work week. Sidestep the negative. Stay grounded. Speak your truth. But be vigilant of your environment. Put it in God's hands. And God will always give you what you need. And guess what? It may feel a little delayed. Like I said, everything that you've done, it's noted. He sees all, knows all. And guess what? Maybe this delay that's going on right now that you think you may be going through is really preparation for your blessing. That's for somebody. So I hope you guys have a blessed week. Love to hear from you. If you know somebody that might need this video, like all my videos, share them. Each one teach one, right? Right? But more importantly, you love yourself more because you're priceless. Be blessed. Peace.